Hey guys, welcome back to the sculpture, and today we're going to be working on the feet. I've been neglecting doing the feet because I feel like that doing hands and doing feet are kind of like doing portraits. That is, it's extremely complicated. There's a lot of things happening in the feet and the hands. There's many bones, and you have to take into account that the feet, when they're posed, there's many ways of describing the character. I decided to put my right foot here, and I put the toe up, and the feet are kind of curled in, so as if he's digging into the stump on the box. Uh, I thought that was a kind of a cool look, and it's also a very antique way of posing the foot. It's a little bit more elegant. I also wanted to include some anatomy in the foot because I think it really will help a lot of artists. The important thing to note are the malleolas, which are basically the fibula and the tibia. There are these two bony landmarks on the side. They're essentially the ankles, the bones that protrude out. And keep in mind that the lateral malleolus is further down than the medial malleolus. The foot has got a lot of tendons that affect the surface of the foot, and oftentimes those tendons look like muscles. But I think it's important to know which tendons there are. There's tendons that lead to each toe. You have the extensor hallucis longus tendon, and then you have the extensor digitorum longus tendon. They are basically going to the toes, and they create the action in the toes. We also have the bands of the Achilles tendon, the inferior extensor reticulum, and the inferior peroneal reticulum. All of these tendons affect the surface. Just keep that in mind. Also, there's a lot of bones that are coming to the surface in the foot. So that's another thing you have to keep in mind, including the malleolus, which are the fibula and the tibia. And when you look at it from the front, you're going to see that the fibula side, or the lateral side, is a little bit lower than the medial side. In the future, I plan on doing a full-length video showing the anatomy of the foot and various parts of the body. I often think that it's best to take very small sections of the human body to learn anatomy. So, you can start with the torso and from there. The feet, hands are extremely difficult to learn because there's so many moving parts in there, including tendons that affect the geometry. The foot is taking shape, and I'm using this tool that I like to use to curve the toes around. But keep in mind, you don't want to get this clay too wet. I'm using just regular water-based clay. This is not plasticine, so it's a little bit more sensitive, and if you put too much water, it'll make it a little bit too soft. You want the feet to be a little bit harder because you want to be able to dig out the detail. And I also don't want to go crazy with the detail. You want to make it a little bit more general. If you put too much detail into a figure, it could become more like a mannequin than a life sculpture. This little steel tool is quite handy. It's some sort of like dental tool that I bought from sculpturehouse.com or completesculptor.com. It's very handy. It's steel, so you can get into the little tiny details, and it really helps out. So my goal is always to create a general look to the sculpture and don't go too crazy with the details off the gate. Otherwise, things could change. Like as I'm sculpting, maybe I'll decide to change the pose of the foot. And if you put too many details in the beginning, then you're going to be forced to do double the work. So, and oftentimes too, it's better just to be a little bit more basic than copying everything in the human body. Well, that's it for today, guys, and I will be finishing the sculpture up in the next week or so. It's taking quite a bit of time to do because there's so many things in there, and like I told you guys before, I'm not using a life model anymore. I'm using a little maquette that I had, so it's a little bit more complicated. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.